Most of Connecticut is small business, running anywhere from 3 employees to 7 employees. And I just want to make sure everybody is aware of the pulse of the climate that is there in that business environment. We are not talking about a giant corporation. We are not talking about a global organization. We are talking about people who are there 5, 7, 10 people working in a small office, in a small setup. It is an extension of a family. That is what our small businesses are all about. When we have meetings, yes, all these meetings in small businesses are mandatory meetings because so much needs to be discussed. We are discussing policy. We are discussing various components directly related to the business. And the extension of that discussion invariably will come into some component of policy making. That is inevitable. Can you just imagine a small group of 5 people or 6 people, suddenly the employer, the boss having to say, we're going to change the discussion here because the law does not permit us to say this or say that, and it is no longer a mandatory meeting. Please excuse yourself from this part of the meeting. It is just not done. This is an extension of what we talk about. And so for me, I cannot see our small businesses, and we are, and we need to be pro-business. We need to be friendly towards business, and as said earlier, that is exactly what we are not doing. We're doing everything in our capacity to become even more and more unfriendly to business. And this is one more situation where we are adding on to what we already have done. Suddenly, in the course of a meeting, we have to be excused. People have to leave because so far, yes, it was a mandatory meeting. I'm well aware of that. But suddenly, because we are nervous, we are scared that we have got this new kind of a component that is added, I have to now say, or businesses have to say, I'm using myself as an example because I'm a small business owner, and the business owner will suddenly say, please excuse yourself, this component does not apply to you, it is no longer mandatory. But it is a part of what we are all about. Sustenance, as an example, is going to involve each and every one of us, whether we like it or we do not like it, whether it comes to pass or does not come to pass. So that discussion suddenly becomes political, and people have to be excused. It is very, very difficult to do in the real world. We need to make Connecticut more attractive to businesses. Each and every one of us have heard this in our campaign as we walked in October, November last year. And here we sit here in the chambers. I'm amazed. Yes, I'm a freshman. This is the first time for me. But I would have thought that all our policies would be pro-business so that we bring more businesses here into Connecticut and become once again the prosperous state that we once were. And all I see here is one more hindrance by one more law being added, breaking that beautiful relationship between an employer and his employee, because you're always apprehensive of what the return is going to be. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.